The thunder of jets in an open sky, a streak of gray, and a cheerful...
A loop, a whirl, and a vertical climb, and once again you'll know it's time for the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and friends.
Starring that supersonic speedster, Rocket J. Squirrel, with his pal Bullwinkle the Moose, and a host of others.
Hurry, Bullwinkle! The show's about to start!
I'm coming as fast as I can.
Wave to the people!
Yay!
Now what are you doing?
Signing autographs. Let's see. John Smith.
But your name is Bullwinkle.
I know, but that's hard to spell.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. Come on and join us.
Sure, there's always room for one more.
Well, it may not have been in your newspaper, but there it was on the front page of the Frostbite Falls Far-Flung Flyer.
And you can see why it's called Far Flung.
Boy, look at the headlines.
Moose uncovers long-lost ruby yacht of Omar Khayyam. Pretty little doodad, isn't it?
Sure is, and it must be worth thousands.
A low estimate to be sure, especially to the ruler of a certain remote city in lower North Pakistan.
For years, the ruby yacht floated in this sacred bathtub. It was our talisman.
What's a talisman, O grandiose one?
Okay, let's just say it was our good luck token.
You desire this humble Grand Vizier to recover the ruby yacht, O esteemed one?
Let me put it this way. If you don't recover ruby yacht, I shall be esteemed off one.
And as we close the episode that came before this one, the Vizier was trading hotly with the reluctant Moose.
I give 4 Roger Maris baseball cards for yacht.
Not even if you throw in Leo DeRocher.
I give warped LP of Jen Pierce singing Bluebirds of Happiness.
Not even for Mildred Pierce.
Yes, apparently the ruby yacht had gotten under Bullwinkle's skin.
And the same might be said for our swords.
Hokey smokes, we're surrounded.
Rocky wasn't about to take this socked in.
Make for the door, Bullwinkle.
Alas, they were both on the same track. Minutes later, the Vizier and his burly aides paraded our captive heroes out of town.
What's the parade for, Featherby?
Don't know. Must be Labor Day or something.
I wish it were Doris Day. How about some cribbage?
But not all the good folk of Frostbite Falls were taken in. An aroused citizens committee was formed to investigate the blatant abduction.
I've wired the Secretary of State and the UN.
I phoned the gas company.
I propose we march on Washington.
Shucks, he's been dead for years.
It was then that Miss Plumfort, the principal of PS 12, spoke up.
I always said that Bullwinkle would wind up bad. Any boy that wears antlers in school.
Luckily, mild standoffish, the turkey farmer, entered the meeting.
I don't know what all the fuss is. Shuckings, they'll never get out of the country.
What makes you figure that, Miles?
Well, you got a moose, a squirrel, 6 soldiers, and 1 Grand Brazier.
That's Vizier.
Yeah. Anyways, the customs man will spot that group for sure.
Sure enough, the United States Customs Bureau had every port, every airfield, every train depot saturated with steely-eyed customs agents.
Just a moment, sir. What's in that bass violin case?
Oh, just some Tommy guns and a bunch of stolen money, that's all, copper.
Okay, just checking, that's all. Part of my job. Say, Barney, what is it we're supposed to keep an eye out for again?
I told you, a moose, a squirrel, 6 soldiers.
And a partridge in a pear tree, right?
No, a Grand Vizier.
Suddenly, the whistle of the SS Plankton announced its departure.
That boat, did you check it?
No, I thought you did.
From gangplank to the wheelhouse, the luxurious ocean liner was given a thorough going over. However, passengers and crew alike were given a clean bill of health. All but one stoker.
You have scurvy, sir. Get off the boat and eat some oranges.
You saw nothing suspicious, eh, Fred?
Only thing that bothered me was the ship's orchestra. Boy, are they corny.
That is very understandable.
Okay, we take it from the top, and please, no clinkers in the reed section.
Bullwinkle, we gotta make a run for it.
What, and miss my solo? Is guys, I can't run very far.
Strained your leg?
No, they chained my leg.
Well, it looks like a long, frustrating passage for our boys. Whatever's on your list, postpone it for The Melody Lingers On or I Bought You Violence for your furs.
Words of wisdom are food for the mind, right, Junior?
Right, Pop.
All right, then. Is your head hungry?
Famished.
Good. Open wide, and I'll feed it. You ready?
Shoot.
It is one thing to propose, but quite another thing to execute. That, my boy, is a very wise saying. Feel smarter now?
No.
Yeah, I thought so. No. What do you mean, no?
I don't understand what it means.
It means easier said than done. Simple?
Yeah? But I still don't get it.
Well, then I shall tell you the story of the mice who belled the cat. That'll explain everything. For years, the mice had been living in constant fear of their archenemy, the cat. Never did they have a moment's rest, for the cat would ambush them, chase them, jump up and down on them, and toy with them every chance he got. Finally, the poor little mice could stand it no longer, and they called a meeting to see what could be done about their dreadful situation.
Something's got to be done. Look, I already got a gray hair, and I'm a nervous wreck.
The whole trouble is that cat's too quiet. He's always pussyfooting around. We can never hear him coming until it's too late.
Many plans were discussed and rejected. Then at last, a young mouse named Murphy got up and proposed.
Oh, why don't we just hang a bell around the cat's neck? Then we could always hear him coming in time to make a getaway.
Murphy's plan was very well received, and it was immediately put to a vote.
All those in favor of Murphy's idea, say aye.
Aye.
Now, being that it's Murphy's idea, all those in favor of letting Murphy bell the cat, say aye.
Aye. Aye, aye, aye. Nay, nay.
But the ayes had it, and Murphy was elected.
Good luck, Murphy. Anything you'd like to say before you go?
Yes, I got a big mouth.
Having no choice but to at least try, Murphy set out to find the cat, which, as he feared, was no trouble at all.
What have we here?
Would you believe me if I told you that I'm a beaver?
What do you think?
I think you think I'm a mouse.
That is correct. Food.
And Murphy was forced to flee for his life, narrowly escaping capture by ducking through a hole in a fence inches ahead of the cat.
Oh, that was a close one. If I ever expect to get this bell on that monster, I'll have to think up some way to trick him.
Reasoning that his task should be quite simple, if only he could put the cat to sleep, Murphy quietly crept up behind the cat and ever so softly whispered into his ear.
Rock-a-bye pussy in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. Oh, boy, it worked. But just to make sure, are you asleep, cat?
What do you think? Food?
I think I goofed.
That is correct.
And again, Murphy had to run for his life.
This time I'll take a more direct action. I'll knock him cold. Then he can't play tricks on me.
And boldly walking right up to the cat, Murphy hit him with all his might.
Well, hello there, Food. Oh, what a shame. You broke your bat.
So I did. How do you feel?
I got a slight headache, but other than that, just fine.
Would you consider giving me a 5-minute head start?
What do you think?
I think it's out of the question.
That is correct.
Now, Murphy was not a mouse to give up easily, and striking on a plan with which to outsmart the cat, he carefully put the collar with the bell into a box, wrapped it as a gift, and then placed it where the cat would be sure to see it.
To the nice cat from a friend. Oh, boy, a collar with a little bell on it. Oh, just what I've always wanted.
The cat quickly put it on and was overjoyed with his new gift.
A-ting-a-ling, a-ting-a-ling.
It worked. Never again will he be able to sneak up without us hearing him. Oh, he's coming now. He won't fool me this time. He's coming from that direction, and he's getting closer and closer. Now I can get ready to run because he's right. Whoops!
Ice cream. Get you nice ice cream right here, ice cream.
Well, what do you know? Well, if that's Ice Cream Man, what happened to the cat?
What do you think?
I think this is the biggest boo-boo I've made yet.
That is correct!
And so you can see, after all was said and done, more was actually said than done. You understand now, Junior?
I sure do, Pop. The moral of the story is that if you fool with bells, you're apt to get told off.
Huh? Yeah, well, yeah, that's one way to put it, yes.
I was wondering why they always call me Fathead. Hello there, friends. Today our subject is from my bestseller, How to Win Friends and Be Influential with People. I quote, pick out something about a person that you admire, tell them about it, and they will surely be your friend. Pardon me kindly, sir, but I couldn't help admiring your hair. You certainly are fortunate to have such fine, sturdy, good-looking, healthy, well-groomed hair. Mind if I take it home and admire it under a better light? Learn the interests and hobbies of those you would like to have as your friends. That's why I have thoroughly studied all the subjects that interest this man that's coming now. Hello there again, kindly sir. You may be interested to know that I am an expert on bowling, baseball, and croquet. Those are his favorites. From my best-selling page 35, I quote, sometimes those you seek may seem standoffish. It's just that they are shy. Obviously the case here. It simply means you must bring them out by doing little favors for them. Let me carry your package, kindly, sir. Oh, I insist. Now you'll see the beginning of a real friendship.
Gee, Mr. Know-It-All, can't you win any friends with that book of yours?
Oh, sure, Rock. One man promised to be my friend for the rest of my life because of this book.
Who was that?
The publisher. I promised never to write another one.
And now...
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
Wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Hello out there. Peabody again. And today we set our sights on the year 1493.
The place, Mr. Peabody?
Rome, where we'll meet history's most infamous bartender, Lucretia Borgia. In a trice, the Wayback Machine escorted us from my penthouse apartment to the castle of the Lord of Pesaro, Lucretia Borgia's second husband. We found his lordship munching on the leg of a chair.
Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Pardon us, Your Grace, but why are you eating that chair?
Because I'm hungry.
But why the chair?
Well, for one thing, it happens to be the only edible piece of furniture in this room. Hey, you see this? Yesterday was a piano.
Wouldn't you rather eat a nice, juicy steak?
The last person to eat a steak in this castle was Lucretia's first husband. He's dead, you know.
We're quite familiar with your wife's reputation.
Yeah, one might say she's a poison. But I love her anyway.
You realize, of course, what a diet of furniture can lead to.
Probably a divorce. But as long as my wife handles food and drinks, I must abstain from normal eating habits. Either of you care for a caster?
Thank you, no.
Yes, I only wish there was someone who could help me.
There is.
Who?
Mr. Peabody. He can do anything.
Sherman is prejudiced, Your Grace. Prejudiced, but absolutely correct. That night we joined his lordship at dinner.
Hey, Lucretia, she's gonna be down in a minute. Remember, if you value your life, don't eat or drink. By the way, do either of you carry a Blue Cross?
Before we could answer, the door swung wide, and there stood Lucretia. It had to be her. She was carrying a decanter of hemlock.
Good evening, dear husband. Ah, I see we have a guest.
Yes, my love.
How nice. Gentlemen, I propose a toast. To your health.
Without raising suspicion, we managed to empty our glasses in a nearby plant. A nearby dead plant.
I hope you enjoyed the meal. I prepared it myself.
Oh? What happened to the cook?
Stomach trouble.
As usual, you done it again, Lucretia. This food looks delicious.
You may find it needs a dash of salt.
Oh, yes, salt. A-R-S-E-N-I-C, salt.
Lucretia's constitution must have been an iron one. Her food disappeared rapidly. So did ours, from our plates to the floor.
Ah, that hit the spot.
Would anyone care for a cigar?
Well, yes, I think I...
Shh. She soaks them.
Darling, why you don't take our guests out for a stroll in the night air? It might help you to clear up your headaches.
I don't got a headache.
And not yet, you don't.
Atop a parapet, we discussed the recent ordeal.
You see? Hemlock, arsenic, that food was loaded.
If I were you, your lordship, I'd leave her.
I can't. I love her too much. Besides, this poison thing is just a hobby.
I have an idea. One that will allow you to eat and drink quite freely. We adjourned to the castle basement where Lucretia had her own chemistry lab.
Look around you. The greatest collection of poisons in the entire world.
With Sherman and his lordship assisting, we collected samples. Finally, I began my experiment. 2 drops of wood alcohol, a dash of belladonna, Paris green for color. There we are, done.
It looks delicious. What is it?
This glass contains a minute amount of every poison known to man.
And to Lucretia?
And to Lucretia. By drinking this, you will build up a lifetime immunity. No matter what poison your wife administers, your system will have become adjusted to it.
All right. He is looking at you, I hope.
Congratulations, your lordship. You are now immune to poison. From that moment on, his married life changed to one of complete rapture.
You cooking something, my dear?
Yes, my love. A cake for your birthday.
Not enough strychnine. You know I like my strychnine.
Oh, sorry, my pet. I keep forgetting.
Well, Sherman, I think our visit has ended.
There's just one thing, Mr. Peabody.
And that is?
The servants around here. They're not immune to Lucretia's poison.
True, but if you'll notice, they go about the castle wearing a plaster patch over their mouths. That way they don't eat, drink, or speak. In fact, Sherman, this may surprise you, but that's how the silent butler came to be.
Well, last time, Rocky, Bullwinkle, and the Ruby Yacht were marched out of Frostbite Falls under armed guard.
We take you back to remote city in Pakistan for terrible swift punishment.
Couldn't you just give us 2 demerits and let it go at that?
Silence!
As might be expected, the citizens of Frostbite Falls quickly summoned help.
Well, Sergeant, what do you and your men suggest?
I think we better call the police.
Not only the local law enforcement agencies, but the federal as well were called in to block any attempts at fleeing the country.
Sir, there are 60 young girls here who claim they're supposed to swim in the Olympics.
60, eh? Hold them for questioning.
What kind of questioning?
Telephone numbers, you know.
What about the moose, the squirrel, the Grand Vizier?
Let them get their own girls.
Meanwhile, at Pier 62, the SS Plankton pulled away from the wharf.
Captain, the Customs Bureau searched the ship and found nothing suspicious.
Excellent. Oh, by the way, tell the engineer to oil those engines. Terrible racket.
But the engines weren't responsible. The blame lay with Guy Vizier and his tremulous troubadours.
From the beautiful rumpus room of the good ship Plankton overlooking the blue Pacific in the heart of downtown Jersey City, it's the captivating melodies of the makes you want to retch music man himself. Yours truly is no one else, Guy Vizier, with a sparkling, scintillating 2.5 minutes of toe-tapping harmonies coming to you indirectly from the locker room of the SS Andrea Doria, just a short drive from Pier 86 atop the penthouse showroom in East Side, West Side. Here now is #1 singer, gorgeous Georgia Peach, who asked the musical question, Tippy Tippy Teen?
Bullwinkle, we gotta jump overboard before we're too far out to sea.
Not yet, Rock. I got an arrangement coming up in the next set.
Look, if you're worried about the chains on your legs, don't.
Well, I must admit they did cross my mind.
Ah, but Rocky had a plan. Sure enough, during his bass solo in Four Brothers, the resourceful squirrel attached a hacksaw to his bow, and by bar 32 had sawed through their fetters. You can imagine the vizier's surprise when at the start of a 5-minute break, Rocky and Bullwinkle dashed from the room.
Quick, the dogs are escaping.
Shuffleboard games, sun-deck bathing, all were shattered by the ensuing wild chase.
Hey, what's going on here?
Somebody requested running wild, and 2 of my boys took it literally. There they go.
The pursuit lasted well into the wee hours of the night.
They got to be somewhere on this tub. Oh, well, we pick up chase at dawn.
Phew, lucky for us they didn't look in this lifeboat.
Yeah, we sure are lucky.
A questionable statement, for the engine room was having trouble maintaining full speed.
As I understand it, the ship is overloaded. We must either jettison the lifeboat or the passengers. What do you suggest?
Don't ask me, sir. Why not flip for it? Heads passengers, tails lifeboat.
It came up tails, and wouldn't you know, the lifeboat to be sacrificed was the very one our lads were in.
Sea seems to be getting a trifle heady, Rock.
It's probably a minor squall. Get some sleep.
Careful there, men. You don't want it to land in the water upside down, do you?
What's it matter? There's nobody in it.
Bad George, you're right. Throw it over.
Sea seems to be getting a trifle heady, Rock.
You said that.
Oh, we may be on the brink of a terrible tragedy. Only way to find out is to join us next time for The Deep Six, or It's Tough to Fathom.
Well, it looks as if our time is just about run out.
Mine must be a little slow.
You got the credits, Bullwinkle?
All on this itty-bitty card. Oop.
We're late again, Bullwinkle.
Right.
Bye now. See you next time.